Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press evening podcast for March 6, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. We've been following the escalating conflict in the Middle East, where Israeli airstrikes have intensified in Lebanon, triggering a humanitarian emergency. The situation has led to significant civilian casualties and displacement, with tens of thousands of people forced to flee their homes. The international community is expressing deep concern over the violence, which threatens regional stability. In related news, Ukraine has offered to provide expertise on countering Iranian-made drones to Gulf countries, aiming to bolster defense capabilities in the region. European nations are adopting a defensive posture in response to the conflict, seeking to protect their citizens and interests while avoiding being drawn into the war. We've also been reporting on significant developments in international relations. The United States and Venezuela have agreed to resume diplomatic ties after a surprise U.S. military operation captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in January. The two countries aim to promote stability, support economic recovery, and advance political reconciliation. Additionally, we've been following the aftermath of the U.S.-Israeli military action against Iran, which resulted in the death of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The situation remains volatile, with ongoing conflicts and diplomatic efforts underway. Finally, we've been tracking the tensions between the United States and Spain, as Spain stands alone in its opposition to the U.S.-led offensive in the Middle East, despite potential economic consequences. These are the key developments from our recent coverage. We'll continue to monitor these stories and provide updates as more information becomes available. Good night. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then shall know what's right now. Firstly, the conflict between the U.S. and Iran continues to escalate, with a potential new front emerging in the Middle East. Iranian Kurdish opposition groups may be joining forces with other opposition movements to overthrow the Islamic Republic, prompting concerns about regional stability and global security. Secondly, hostilities between Israel and Hezbollah have led to a major humanitarian emergency in Lebanon, with nearly 200 people displaced and tens of thousands of Syrian refugees fleeing back over the border. The UN has declared the situation a major humanitarian emergency, requiring an immediate response across the region and into Southeast Asia. Lastly, we're seeing a rapidly expanding scope of the U.S.-Iranian conflict, with far-reaching consequences for regional stability and global security. Diplomatic efforts to de-escalate tensions are crucial, but the deep-seated historical grievances and political ambitions of the parties involved make a peaceful resolution difficult to achieve. We urge all parties to exercise restraint and prioritize diplomatic efforts to de-escalate tensions. The international community must come together to address these pressing issues and work towards a peaceful resolution. We'll continue to monitor these developing stories and provide updates as more information becomes available. Now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, Altius has completed its acquisition of Lithium Royalty Corp., a move that the company believes will create long-term value for its shareholders. We want to hear from you. Do you think this is a good move for Altius, or are there potential risks that investors should be aware of? In other news, the Indian stock market has witnessed 2 consecutive gap downs of over 1% in the Nifty 50 index, a rare phenomenon that has sparked concerns among market analysts and experts. Historical data suggests that such occurrences are often associated with periods of global stress, including economic crises and geopolitical tensions. We advise investors to remain disciplined and avoid panic selling. Lastly, the World Bank has announced its support for a new fund designed to encourage private investment in South Africa's transportation and energy sectors, while tensions between the United States, Israel, and Iran continue to escalate. The ongoing conflict has led to a surge in oil prices and volatility in financial markets as investors navigate the uncertainty of the situation. And remember, as I always say, don't panic, stay informed. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, we've been following updates on NASA's Artemis program, including the identification of a helium flow blockage that delayed the Artemis, the second rocket launch, and changes to the program, such as the adoption of United Launch Alliance's Centaur, the fifth upper stage for future SLS missions. We also touched upon the crucial role SpaceX's Starship and Blue Origin's Blue Moon landers will play in this endeavor. Secondly, we explored the fascinating story of asteroid YR4, which had a slight chance of colliding with the Moon in December. Thanks to new observations from the James Webb Space Telescope, scientists have ruled out this possibility, demonstrating significant progress in asteroid tracking and the importance of continued research in this area. Lastly, our previous episode discussed the history of space exploration milestones, including the first humans to journey into outer space. We highlighted the achievements of pioneers like Yuri Gagarin and Alan Shepard, marking the beginning of human spaceflight. These stories not only showcase the advancements in technology and collaboration between government agencies and private companies, but also underscore the importance of vigilance and preparedness in understanding and navigating our universe. We'll continue to bring you updates on these developing stories as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. In college basketball, teams are gearing up for the upcoming tournaments, with Michigan State, Florida, UConn, and Houston dominating their respective conferences. Meanwhile, Nebraska and Iowa State faced setbacks, highlighting the intense competition as teams vie for spots in the tournament. In the NHL, the Toronto Maple Leafs are making waves with potential trades on the horizon, having already dealt away Nicholas Roy to the Colorado Avalanche. The fate of Vincent Trocheck remains uncertain, with the Rangers hesitant to trade him unless they receive a significant offer from teams like the Minnesota Wild. We're also seeing movement from other teams, including the Montreal Canadiens and Calgary Flames, as well as a stunning trade by the Washington Capitals, sending John Carlson to another team. Colton Parayko has rejected a trade offer, opting to stay with his current team for now. These are just a few of the exciting developments in sports today. Tune in tomorrow for more updates and analysis from the AI Daily Press. And that's a wrap. Now for the latest in travel and human interest. Here is Charles Carroll.
Thank you, Howard. First, we traveled to Lagos, Nigeria, where we explored the vibrant music scene and met with local artists who are using their talents to tell stories of hope and resilience. Unfortunately, this article was not provided, but I would like to take a moment to talk about the importance of arts and culture in shaping our identities and bringing people together. Next, we visited Yoyogi Uehara, a charming neighborhood in Tokyo, Japan, where we discovered a rich culinary scene and a strong sense of community. From traditional Japanese cuisine to international flavors, this enchanting neighborhood is a must-visit destination for anyone looking to experience the authentic charm of Japan. We also reported on the devastating oil spill off the coast of Mexico, which has disrupted the livelihoods of communities in Veracruz State. The spill has highlighted the delicate balance between economic development and environmental protection, and we're reminded of the importance of responsible stewardship of our natural resources. Finally, we looked at the vibrant music scene in Lagos, but instead, we can talk about the article on La Pita de Maison 55, a cozy eatery serving up delicious Middle Eastern fare in Yoyogi Uehara. The owner's story of bringing a taste of their heritage to this beautiful neighborhood is a testament to the power of food, to bring people together and transcend cultural boundaries. These stories remind us that even in the face of challenges and uncertainties, there is always hope and always something to be learned from the experiences of others. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Like you, Charles. Let's get straight into it. We've had a fascinating week in the world of entertainment and beyond. First off, we explored the intriguing topic of identity politics and the commodification of beauty. It's a complex subject that warrants nuanced discussions about the human condition. We'll continue to dive deeper into this thought-provoking issue in future episodes. In other news, we celebrated a heartwarming moment in late-night television when Jimmy Fallon paid tribute to his friend Stephen Colbert with a hilarious and poignant song on The Late Show. It was a beautiful display of camaraderie and respect, as Colbert prepares to bid farewell to his hosting duties. We also delved into the latest rumors swirling around the Marvel Universe, including the potential multiverse meltdown in Avengers: Doomsday. With Doctor Doom allegedly set to destroy every timeline except for one, it's going to be a wild ride. And let's not forget about the upcoming live-action Voltron movie. If they don't get those giant robot battles just right, there will be hell to pay. Thanks for joining me on the AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in nature and environment. Here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we delved into the fascinating world of science with an article about a unique premise that explores the possibility of humans entering the body of robot animals to communicate with creatures in the wild. This concept raises intriguing questions about our relationship with the natural world and has sparked important conversations about coexistence and conservation. Next, we reviewed Pixar's latest film, Hoppers, which has taken the world by storm with its blend of environmental advocacy, humor, and stunning animation. The movie follows the story of a young environmentalist who forms an unlikely friendship with a beaver king, highlighting the importance of protecting our planet and its inhabitants. With its positive message and entertaining storyline, Hoppers is a must-see film that inspires and educates audiences of all ages. Lastly, we reflected on the impact of storytelling on our collective consciousness, using Hoppers as a prime example. The film's portrayal of the delicate balance between species, ecosystems, and the environment is both poignant and thought-provoking, serving as a clarion call to audiences around the world to take action in protecting our planet's precious natural heritage. These articles remind us of the importance of conservation, sustainability, and environmental stewardship. As we navigate the complexities of our relationship with the natural world, stories like Hoppers inspire wonder, empathy, and action. Join us tomorrow for more insightful discussions on the AI Daily Press Evening Podcast. Good night, and that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.